22 July iLAB Express. My name is Terry Billington and I am your lead facilitator for this course. I have spoken to a couple of you and I'm really excited to be meeting you all in person. Before I go too far into it, I'll just tell you my voice is not usually this sexy. I'm actually have a head cold at the moment, and Simone is in ready mode just in case I sneeze or have a coughing fit. So that's what happens when you live. This year I've been 4 months in Bali, and that's what happens when I come back to cold Australia for the winter is I get a cold. So hopefully we'll get through this without anything happening. But welcome along, everyone. I'm really, really excited, like I said, to meet you all, and yeah, for you to experience the amazing Vision Villas and Bali for those who haven't been there. So how we're going to go through this is I will run through a series of information that you will need to know in order to prepare yourself to coming over to iLAB so that you can get the best out of the time that's there. And also so that just a little bit more information about Bali that for those of you who haven't been there may not already know. So first of all, introduce you to our amazing team. So that's me on the left. In the middle we have Simone, that you would have heard her speaking just a moment ago for those of you that were on earlier. And Simone's our iLAB coordinator, and she's also looks after the resorts. So she does an amazing job at that, and she's there to support us right the way through iLAB. We also have Shane, her partner, who you will see every day that you turn up at iLAB. He's the man that sits down the back and does our audio and visual. He's videoing and doing iLAB TV and a lot of different things that he does to make sure that we get the best experience. And also anything that we're doing during the course of it, he videos it and plays it back to us so we can see that for ourselves. And you will, like I said, get to experience a lot of time with Shane. He's absolutely amazing at what he does. And our other little crew member is Elkara, who's Simone and Shane's little 2.5-year-old boy, who you will all get to meet. He's a pleasure to have around, and just a gorgeous little boy who's been in Bali for over a year now, so it's like he's home. So you will definitely get to meet Elkara. And then over to the right we've got Yannick. Yannick is our assistant, and she helps out with all the logistics, not only for the program itself but anything that we're doing as part of a social activity. Yannick's obviously from Bali, and she supports us through getting information on different things we may need to know, booking things, and like I said, she's our coordinator or our assistant for iLAB. So you will definitely get to meet her, and yeah, any help that we need, we generally go through her. So they're part of the team. There obviously is a lot of people that work within Vision Villas where you'll be staying, and you will get to meet them. We don't expect you to memorise all their names immediately, but as time goes on you will definitely get to know them. The Balinese culture is beautiful, and they are without doubt, like, they are there to support us, and they love doing that. So you know, we will experience that to its fullest. So be prepared for some amazing service and experiences. Now on to what to pack. This is always a question that I have whenever I'm going anywhere. I mean, generally it's a female question, but I'm sure the men like to ask the same question. For those of you who haven't been to Bali before, it is a tropical island. It is, well, for those that are in a winter climate at the moment, you will know that in most places in the world, the winter climate means it's cold. For Bali, the winter climate means it's beautiful. So it still gets warm during the day, so it can be quite hot and you can still swim. So that's an example of what it's like in a tropical winter in Bali. So be prepared to bring clothes that will suit that climate, rather than you won't be needing to bring something for winter because it doesn't get cold like that. So any casual clothes, we turn up to iLAB each day casual. We're in a tropical island, so we wear tropical clothing. For an example, I present every day in a sarong, and so those types of clothing, I mean, a lot of the participants actually do turn up in sarongs as well, which I'm sure many of you will adapt to after a couple of days. So any casual clothes, shorts, summer dresses, anything that you feel comfortable in, bring those. One business outfit. Okay, so one business outfit that you can wear. Simone, can you add anything onto that one?
Yeah, sorry, Terry, that I sprung that one on you when I updated the presentation. Hi, everyone. That one business outfit is purely just to wear if you want to do any videoing while you're over here. You might want to do a promo video for your business or a testimonial. As Terry said, we generally wear casual clothes, boardies or a sarong even. But yeah, just if you want to pack one sort of business or more smart casual outfit, you might have a chance to wear that, or you might want to wear that to do some recording. That's why that's in there, Terry.
All right, thanks. That's something usually I need to remember myself to bring for my recording. Yeah, if you please take advantage of the opportunity to be able to do some recording while you're there, because you're in a beautiful place, and so I would recommend that. That's a good suggestion, Simone. Thank you. I'd recommend that you bring an outfit, or I mean, usually it's your top half that you see, so that you can get those recordings done. Okay, the rest of the things that you'll need, your swimmers, your bathers, whatever you call them from where you come from. I'm from West Australia, so we do tend to have a slightly different language than some of the east coast of Australia and the rest of the world. So bring those. There's an amazing pool, and from all the experiences I've had of facilitating iLAB and participating, there's a lot of time in the pool. So as I said, sarongs, flip-flops, thongs, whatever, sandals, whatever you call them from where you come from, and you know, there's what you put on your feet, and if you end up barefoot, that's okay as well, because that's how we work over there. Insect repellent. There can be quite a few bugs and mosquitoes over there, so I do recommend that you bring that just to be sure. I mean, the last group, the first night, there was a girl that was quite susceptible to getting bitten by insects, so it's just really important that you consider things like that. I don't usually have a problem, but I would bring it anyway. And the obvious things that you would bring, like sun cream and anything else that you would use for your own purposes. But do not be like the picture where you have to try and jam your bag full, because you will not need to. And some do go to a market and buy a couple of things while they're there too. So, you know, bring your bag fairly empty, and you'll only need what you wear on the days that you are there. Okay. During the course of the program, we highly encourage you to be researching. So you'll go online a fair bit, and some of the mentors will in particular ask you to do this. So your laptop, your iPad, your phone, your camera, any electronic stuff that you have, in particular for in the classroom, like I said, you will be doing some research, so your laptop or your iPad will be obviously relevant for that. Your phone you can use for videoing, and Shane will be taking you through that in regards to how to actually make amazing videos on your phone. You can also use that for recording things and anything else you may need to do over there. And your camera is I don't actually use a camera anymore. I actually use my phone as a camera. But if you have a really great camera, which some do, please bring that along. You will get some beautiful photos of not only those that are in iLAB and at Vision Villas, but as we get out and about, we'll be doing some things. So there'll be opportunities for you to take lots of photos and take them back home if you choose to go home, because some actually don't, which I'll be sharing that with you a bit further. Okay. With Bali, obviously it's a country that has different sockets, as most countries have. What I recommend is, and you can generally get them at the airport anyway, but you get a socket. You can see the picture of the wall socket, what it's like over there. So you just get an adapter, a travel adapter. I've got a multi-use one that works in most countries that has different pins that push out at different angles. So, I mean, I got that, so I only have one whenever I travel anywhere. So you can either get one of those, or you know, definitely like in the picture itself. What you will be best to bring is, because you will need to charge your computers in the room, in the meeting room where we actually run the sessions in iLAB, it would be great to bring a power board or something that you can plug multiple things in. So, for example, if you need to charge your phone or charge your computer or whatever, or there's people from the same country that you could share, it's a good idea to bring that. So, because there's not unlimited PowerPoints within the room, but there's definitely enough for everyone to charge up enough. So bring that. I use the power board in my room, in my villa as well, so I can charge my phone and my computer and anything else that I may have at the same time. So bring one of those along. Hope you're taking notes here. Okay, international driver's license. This is where I usually get Simone to come in and support with this, because I don't drive in Bali and Simone and Shane and Elkara live there. So she can give you a bit more information on this. So actually, Simone, can I get you to do this one so that I don't miss something?
Sure. That's just a little note there. For those that do want to drive in Bali, you've got a few options. We can organise through the villa here for you to rent a car or a scooter. And if so, then you'll need an international driver's license. Now, I'm from Australia, so I know the process there. It costs about $30 at your local RACQ or NRMA, and you can get it on the day. You can organise one while you're in Bali, but you guys won't have time in the iLAB Express. It takes a day or so with paperwork in Denpasar. So if you're wanting to drive around, then I suggest you look in, depending on what country you're from, how you could organise one before you come over. And just a bit more information about the vehicles. A scooter generally goes for about, I think it's about 700,000 rupiah per month. So for 2 weeks, you're looking a little bit more than half. Or I think, Terry, you aware of the daily one? Is it 50,000 rupiah? For about $5 a day.
60,000, I think.
Yeah, around $5 a day US to just rent them per day. In saying that, we don't have a lot of participants that do that or that have done that in the past. We've got a few. But we do travel around by hiring usually a car and a driver, and also Shane and myself often come out and about with everybody, and we have a car and Shane will drive at that point as well. So it's really only if you want to drive yourself around, and generally we, as I said, hire a car and a driver and we share the cost, which is quite minimal. So we may go to somewhere like Ubud for half a day or for 4 hours for a dinner or something, and that's around $35 US, and then shared amongst 4 or 5 people that would share the car. So that's why we have the international driver's license in there.
Thanks. The reason that I don't drive is because, as Simone said, we have drivers, and you'll find that you build a really good relationship with the drivers that are there, and it's just easier from my perspective to get a driver to take me wherever I go, and generally I'm going with someone else anyway. So even if it's down the road, there's a beach club down the road, or there's safari park around the corner, these different places that are not too far away. It's just in my, in respect to how I like to work, I just get the driver. And you will get picked up from the airport, which we'll go through momentarily, by one of the drivers that is available to us at Vision Villas. So, however, for some people, they want the opportunity to get on a scooter and have a bit of fun over there. And you will see that there's more scooters than anything else on the roads. They're just everywhere. So, and they have their way of riding, which you will obviously need to learn that when you're there. So have a think about that. We may be going somewhere where you could ride a scooter anyway, where it won't be as busy, but we'll talk about that as we go a bit further through. So, yeah, that's what you need to do if you're considering driving or riding a scooter over there. Okay, this is pretty common that most people know, but just to make sure that you do have 6 months validity on your passport, because if you don't, they won't let you into the country. You come into Bali on a visa, so there's a visa on arrival, and it's $35 US. You can pay by card, or you can pay in generally your currency. It is so much quicker as you're coming through the airport. If you have US currency ready, you just pay the $35, they stamp your visa, and then off you go. Because I mean, the main thing about getting to obviously Bali Airport is you just want to get out of the airport and get straight onto the villas. So that would be what I would recommend, and that's what I actually do myself now. I always make sure I've got that in US dollars, which I actually exchange at the airport on the way out. So when from wherever you're leaving from, which country you're leaving from, you could exchange your dollars into the US dollars so that you've got that there. Like I said, it just makes it a little bit quicker. So obviously you need to check your country's visa requirements as well as to how that works. So from Australia, we basically just fly out and pay the visa on arrival when we get here, and we've got 30 days in which we can stay. So if anyone is considering staying on in Bali longer than that, you can actually apply for another 30-day extension, which you can ask us about. We'll give you a bit more information, but they can organise that at the villas as well, which I usually do myself. I get an extension. So, by the way, if you've got any questions as we're going through, just write them down and we'll have an opportunity at the end for you to ask them. So there's some information that you would have received by now. So what we need to do to make sure that you are picked up is that your travel details are sent to us using the form. So hopefully everyone has seen this now. So as much information that you can give us, and it's obviously all on there, is what we need to make sure we know when you're coming in. Obviously the drivers will go to the airport and pick you up from there. So all details are required just in case there's any delays or whatever, then they can check, or the villas will check before they actually go out to pick you up, just to make sure the flights are not delayed. Or, I mean, I have travelled to Bali nearly 20 times now, and I have never ever had a delay or anything whatsoever with a flight, but I know they do happen with others. I fly AirAsia from West Australia to Bali, and yeah, there's never even been a slight delay. So, but if you fly with other airlines, I don't know whether you're going to get that. So that's why we obviously need the details to make sure we know what your flights are. So when you actually arrive at the airport, which is very exciting, they've done the airport up now, which is fantastic. So it's huge. And I find, I'd say 80% of the time I get off a plane, I don't have to line up much because it depends how many other flights are coming in at the same time. You go through customs, you get your bags, and then your driver will be waiting for you at the front. So as you walk out the main doors, the glass doors at the front, you will see all these drivers standing there with signs. It can be a little bit overwhelming for some, and so what you need to do is just keep looking. Obviously the drivers are looking for you because they know they're there to pick someone up. So your name won't be Agung Lee, but whatever, your name will actually be on a card like this, which the driver will be holding up. So the main thing obviously is to look for your name, and they're from Vision Villas. So that's what I said, you'll get to know some of the drivers. They do speak, some of them speak very fluent English, some of them speak minimal English, but enough to understand and to be able to communicate with you, but they're all pretty good in that respect. So look out for this sign, they will definitely be looking out for you. If when you walk out the door you don't see them straight away, you can keep walking ahead through duty free, and as you come out the other side, if they haven't seen you, they'll be waiting around there anyway. But we will guarantee someone will definitely be there to pick you up. So it's pretty easy. Everyone gets picked up. I've never known us to leave anyone sitting at the airport. So yeah, so just look for your name, like I said, and you will find I've never seen so many people waiting at an airport in my life. It's actually quite fun. Okay, for those of you, and I hope most of you have done this now, but for those of you that haven't, if we can get you to do your profile test, which Simone would have sent out, or you would have had a token sent out to do this. What we go through in iLAB is a lot based on profiles. It's obviously Wealth Dynamics is the program, and it's based on the profile, your profile, understanding yours and understanding everyone else's. So we'll be going through that in quite detail. So we obviously, in order to do that, we need you to take your test, and then we will also get the results of that as well. So if you can do that as soon as you've got your token, if you haven't already, so if you've got it but you still haven't done it, if you can make an effort to get that done so that we can collate all the information before you turn up. And I mean, from my perspective too, I like to be able to have all your information filled out, your profiles, your spectrum test, or anything that you've been asked to do beforehand, so I can learn a little bit more about you and how best I can support you through the 15 days that you're sharing with us. So if you can get that done. Just remember when you're doing these tests too, it's very intuitive, so you do whatever usually is the first answer is the answer. So I'm sure some of you have done tests like this before, so yeah, it's quite exciting if you haven't, to find out what your profile is. The other thing, as I mentioned before, is the spectrum test, and that is your wealth. So that shows your level of wealth, which we will go through as part of the program as well. And this is, you know, you'll get to learn the level that you're at and everyone else's. So, but if you can take that time out to do the test, be fantastic. It's another one that we'll need before you come along as well. It really holds you back if you don't do these before you come along. So if you can make sure that happens, that would be awesome. The other thing that you would have received is the link to the participants info page, which looks like this, which you will see has got nearly everything that you need to know in regards to iLAB and your time over there. And so if you can have a read of that as well, I'm sure that nearly everything that you would ask would be answered on there. If it's not, obviously we're there to support you, but if you can have a read of this, because this is obviously a page for each and every one of you to read, yeah, it's really good. And you know, you'll see some photos of the different groups, and just how I think it's a great way for you to get even more excited about what you've got ahead of you. The survey, the information survey, is part of this, which you'll see down the bottom of that page. So if you can fill this in as well, by then you would have done your profile and your spectrum level. You would know what that is. And yeah, just the short bio is just a brief description of you and your business, or what you're doing at the moment. I mean, there may be some of you that have got ideas that aren't really clear on the business yet. So just put down what your passions are, or what your vision is for what you would love to get out of it. Just a short bio about you would be really good, so we can get to know you a little bit further. You can see at the top of that too, if you have any questions, just to email support@wealthdynamics.org, and you will get answered pretty quickly with that. There is homework, so that's all that I've asked you to do so far is only minimal. So what we need to do to make sure you get the best time out of it is to fill in your personal cash flow sheet. So there's two. This one is your actual. So this is actually where you're at now. So if you look at it, it's quite simple. Just put down, depending on where you get your income from. So we're not talking from your business. Everyone that has a business takes money from their business. Well, generally people do. If they don't, they might get it from a partner's business, or they might get it from a job. So it's wherever you get your personal income from. And we've got examples. You'll see employment, business dividend, rental income, other income. So any form of income that you get personally that feeds your lifestyle is what you need to put into this. Some of you may have to do a bit of guesswork because you might not have recorded it. So we're going to show you how that you do in the future, so you've got all this happening and you know exactly where you're at. You'll understand a little bit more as we go through iLAB why we ask for personal, because I mean, in brief, you're there to learn how to have a business that you can run from anywhere in the world, which means that you have a lifestyle. So we want to be able to measure where you're at currently. So it's your income in and your expenses out, which obviously will give the total. So that's the actual. So that's the last 6 months for the actual. And then we've got your forecast. So based on what you would like, And it's going to be like if you had a vision that 6 months out of iLAB that you're suddenly created this amazing business that is giving you $50,000 a month personally, then that's what you'll put in. It doesn't matter how you're going to achieve it. We don't need to know that yet because we'll determine that through the course of it. But this is a forecast on what you would like to have in the next 6 months. I will say the more the effort that you put into getting this done now, the more you're going to get from the sessions. And we will get to go through this one-on-one with you, but I would love them to be filled out before you actually come along so that I can review them before we have those sessions and before we go through the actual group sessions as well. So like I said, the more effort you put into getting all these done, the more you're going to get out of the whole process. On is it the first day, Simone, that they do their business presentation?
It'll be Monday evening.
Monday, oh, that's right, I did say that. Yes, so everyone will do a 5 minutes, isn't it?
Yes, 5 minutes.
Yeah. So everyone will be presenting to the room. So you'll stand up as the man in the blue shirt with the microphone is doing. You'll stand up in front of the room and give a brief presentation, 5-minute presentation on your business, on where you're at. And like I said, for some of you that go, I don't actually have a business now, that is fine. Look, we had one young guy that was 19 years old that came along to an iLAB. He was there because he's an entrepreneur and he just wants to be able to kickstart his future. He wasn't 100% sure on what his business was going to look like at the end, but he had a very clear passion for working with teenage children, so teenagers. So he just got up and told his story and where he would like to see himself going in the future. But he didn't have a plan. He didn't have anything that would support him. At the moment, for some of you, that's where you will be at. For others, you will know quite clearly what you've got and what you want to get out of it. So if you can just put that together, you don't have to do a presentation as in PowerPoint. It's just a matter of getting up and speaking and sharing with the room where you're at so that we know how to support you further.
Terry, can I just add to that? Thank you. One of the main reasons we have the participants do this, and particularly it will be important in the Express program because the time's compacted, is for everybody in the room to get to know each other a bit more, and also the businesses that are in there, because you will be working together closely and you'll all have different skills and talents. And we've found in every iLAB that great connections are made, and there's a great sharing and co-working energy that happens as well. So it's really for us to hear about your business, like Terry said, where you're at, and also what challenges you bring to iLAB. Like, what is it that you want to work on? So your business is here and you'd like to go there, and this is what you're finding hard, or this is what you want to learn more about, or just giving us some more insight into, what your focus will be while you're at iLAB. And as Terry said, you don't have to do a formal presentation, but if you want to, that's fine. We have a projector and all the audio and equipment around that. But also if you've got any like samples or prototypes or anything that would help us gain insight into your business. So after that presentation, we'd all should be able to relay back to you and have an understanding of what your business is. Unless, of course, as Terry said, you're working on formulating a startup or you've just got an idea. And as she said, just share your story and your vision there. Or any examples or things that you relate to that are sort of coming up for you as part of your vision. So just giving us that overview. It's really a great part of the program, and I always really look forward to that.
Yeah, thanks, Simone. One of the key things that you said, apart from us obviously understanding each other, the connections that come out of being part of a group like this is just phenomenal. You're going to find that there is some synergies that will come out of it, and yeah, as Simone said, the more that you can actually find out about what each other's doing, you will have strengths that will support others in the room and vice versa. So it's an exciting process for everyone. So if you can prepare that, like the informal, formal, if some of you say I'm not really good at that sort of stuff, it doesn't matter. That's not what this is about. It's about just sharing. And this is a really good photo going back to our clothing. you can see what people actually do where and how we actually do learn. So we have bean bags, and this is how it's a very casual environment, so we're not formal at all within it, and this is how you'll be learning for the next 2 weeks. So thanks, Simone, on that. Gave my voice a break for 2 seconds. Okay, I noticed on the Facebook, we have a Facebook group, and I noticed that some of you have already gone on and you've been invited in and you've accepted. This iLAB Express July 2014 Facebook group is your group, it's your page. The people that are on there are those members that are attending iLAB and the mentors and anyone else that's associated, that's supporting you through this process for the next 15 days when you start. Now, it doesn't finish at the end of that. You actually, this Facebook page, this group will continue, so you will have that connection ongoing as part of that group. I attended as a participant in January, and my group still post on there, so I get to see, I mean, I keep in touch with them anyway, but I get to see what people are doing. They use it to be able to support each other. They'll put articles or different things on there that can help. You'll also find the key, because sometimes we get people that don't use Facebook. I would recommend that you use Facebook if only for this reason, to be part of this. All the presentations, all the templates that we use will be shared on it. So everything that you will need to access will be on this Facebook page, and it's just fun. It's really good to have that connection, even if you're actually staying at the villas at the same time for that moment. So one by one we will all be sharing on there. So yeah, if you can join that. And moving on, we have it's always really exciting when you first come to Bali and you get to learn a little bit about the culture and what is going on with Bali, how the Balinese actually, how they interact with each other and their style. Like many different countries have their different, obviously, cultures and dancing and different ways that they work together. So on the first night you get there, which is on the 20th, we have our welcome dinner, which is just beautiful. And you can see this is one of the girls, like one of the dancers that we have. So we have the Balinese dancing and the traditional Balinese dancing, which all has a story behind it. So you will get the opportunity. This is when everyone will get to really meet each other and be able to interact and learn a little bit about the culture and just see it from that level. And it is amazing. I love it. I've been to so many, and I'm always excited to be able to do it again. So it's like I said, it's a meeting. We'll also be having some time to go through the schedule over the next 15 days and what you'll get to expect. The team that will be there, it'll be a traditional Indonesian dinner, and yeah, the Balinese performance. So get really excited about that, because yeah, it is definitely worth the wait just to see that too. Is there anything on that, Simone, you want to add in?
Yeah, I was just going to make the distinction too, as Terry said, that's when we'll sort of formally meet each other if we haven't already. And so that starts at 6 p.m. that day. It's for about an hour, and we'll go over a quick meet and greet with everybody. We'll cover some logistical information. You'll receive your workbook and the schedule for the next 15 days, and then we'll go out and enjoy dinner and the dancing. So that's sort of where we regroup once everybody's landed, and we've covered some logistical information here, but we'll also do some more on that night, so you're all settled and everything is answered for you that might be coming up.
Yeah, thanks, Simone. Yeah, it is like we don't just get you to turn up on the first morning and say, hello, this is introduce yourself. This is another reason why we do this as well. So it's a little bit easier getting in there. I always get excited in meeting new people. I don't know about you. So I look forward to meeting you all there as well. So what to expect out of the program? Now, some of you would have already been through this with the different people that you've spoken to. You're in a room of entrepreneurs, and I think is there about 10 in this group, Simone?
Yep.
Yeah. So you're going to get to interact, obviously, with all the other entrepreneurs that are in the room. We will go through sessions like your self-motivation. I mean, the thing about entrepreneurs is you can't be motivated. You need to learn to motivate yourself. So we'll go through processes to support you through that. Managing your time will be really, really key over that time that you're there, and you will get action and implementation time. With the iLAB Express, as Simone said, because it's compact, we've got a 30-day program compact into 15 days, into 2 weeks. Normally, like, implementation time would be in the afternoon. You'll get some of that, however, you'll have to manage your time around that because we will have less time to be able to do that in the 15 days. There will be co-working, there'll be buddying, so you'll get the opportunity to be able to support each other through that process. As we said, amazing connections, like you will be blown away by the people you're going to meet, the connections that you will now have after this for life, and, you know, just where you will go from there, whether some of you will go away with partnerships or global business opportunities just through the connections that you make. So also we have expert mentors that come from all over the world to be able to present to you. So just take advantage of what everything's there. Like I always say, you've just got to be prepared to be a sponge. You're a sponge that's taking on the information, and you will use what you need to use, but you know, expect to get the best of the best, and we'll support you in making sure that you can utilise the information that you've learnt in the best way that'll work for you. We have a code of conduct, and you'll find that as we go through the program, there'll sometimes be a need, and I've had to do this in the past, to call people on the code of conduct for different reasons. So it's an amazing experience, iLAB, but we're obviously there for a reason too. So we're there to live deliberately by design, not by accident. So to make sure that you're very clear in your head, that's what we're there for. So we're not just going to let things happen. You're not going to just let things happen. We're going to make sure that you create something that is going to work for you sustainably for the future. Number 2, which is so important, and as for those of you that do your profiles or have done your profiles already and understand a little bit about it, you'll know some profiles can be a lot more present than others. The key thing with this is, no matter what, be the sponge, be present, learn, listen like you need to teach it. So everything that you can get, that you can put into your subconscious and take away and do something with, either when you're there or when you leave, is going to make an amazing difference to what you do. You know, take notes, however you learn, whatever works for you, but be present to the sessions. Even if you said, I've done this before, I've seen this before, you never know what you're going to get by just listening from a different point of view rather than trying to listen from an I know. We'll go through all this as when you turn up. Not trying to scare you, but like, I just want every one of you to get an amazing result at the back end of iLAB. Playing full out, so to play full out, to be part of it, is going to make a massive difference to your result and what you get out the end. So it's not just about the knowledge, it's about implementing what you've learnt as well, and checking in and, you know, working out what are your habits, why are you currently where you're at, and what's holding you there. So we'll be looking at what are your habits and are they serving you. We'll be going through some things that will obviously help you change those habits over the time and get you to work more in the flow of who you are and what you should be, what your strengths are, but just identifying what that is. And these are what we operate within. This is, like, as I said, the code of conduct, and it's how we will operate over the 15 days that you'll be with us. And like I said, occasionally we'll go back to identify a few if some are not doing it. Then it's not only for me to call you on it, it's also for you to be able to support each other through these as well. You will get a copy of these, obviously, when you come in. What not to expect. There are mentors and coaches and amazing people who are available there at specific times to support you. There will be a schedule of mentoring sessions, and that includes myself. I mean, I'm the one that mentors as well as the others, and I'm there all the time, but that doesn't mean I'm available 24/7 for coaching and mentoring. Like, I have my set times as well. And I mean, like, as with everyone, the idea of iLAB is being able to set up a business that you can run from anywhere in the world. So I'm there to support you with iLAB, but I also have another business that I run as well. So that's why I'm not 100% available. But also, you will see the mentors that stay there. You may walk past them and say, you know, can I have a chat to you? You need to appreciate that they might say no because they might already have something on. However, the opportunity will definitely be there to have sessions with every one of the mentors, and you will get a lot of mentoring over this time. And this is the bit that I love as well, and in particular because part of what we do, and you'll see down the bottom left-hand corner, is exercise. So we'll talk a little bit about the fun side of it. One of the things that we do as part of iLAB is it's very important, which sounds silly from me who's got a cold at the moment, but to look after our health and to exercise. So as a group, we'll be exercising and doing certain things that will be able to stimulate us in every way. You know, like obviously, you know, there could be someone in the group or people in the group that already have fitness programs or whatever that we can actually share. So, but I mean, it's not just about you learning their 15 days of iLAB, all the sessions you're going to do. It's about us having a bit of fun as well. So on the times, like the relaxation times you'll get, which are the weekend, is a weekend, because obviously you've only really got one weekend in the middle. We highly encourage you to do whatever it is that we may organise for you or with you. So some things that we will go through, but we're thinking about, you know, snorkeling off one of the islands, which is where I was saying you can get an opportunity to ride a scooter if we do that, because it's not as busy. We could do canyoning, like the tubing. We might go cycling down the mountain. There'll be things that are offered to you like that we can agree what's the best. That would be for the group. Not everyone wants to do it, but we'd highly encourage you to. And this will definitely be on the weekend. So it's part of that connection process too, and just realising that you have a full-on sessions and then we have fun. So outside of those sessions also, you obviously get time to eat and have a bit of socialising from that side of things. We have happy hours. Sometimes we go to other places to have dinner. We don't always eat at the resort, and there's quite a few close by, and also some traditional Balinese warongs, as they call them, which is a restaurant, Balinese restaurant. Or sometimes we go a little bit further out as a group. So that's all available to you as well, which we can talk to you more about when you get there. On that note, that's pretty much all there is that I can think of, unless Simone tells me I've missed anything. So I'll get her to let me know, and otherwise we'll open it up for questions.
Thanks, Terry. You've done a great job with your beautiful, sexy voice. I've opened the line up there. There is a bit of feedback. So I've noted a few questions that came up during that session. But if anybody's got any questions they want to ask now, go ahead.
Okay, I can see questions now. Have you answered any of them online?
Well, we can go through the list first, if that works. I've got one here. What sort of currency to bring?
Good question.
Rupiah, US dollars or Australian dollars? And I'm not sure if there's any other currencies that are involved. I don't know the demographic of everybody coming yet. Do you want to do that one, Terry?
Yeah, there's money exchange places around, but what you can exchange money at your airport before you come out and bring rupiah with you. I find myself, I usually bring enough just to get me through the first couple of days. So $100 Australian, for example, will usually get you about 1 million rupiah, or they're close enough to it. And that's more than enough to kickstart you. Like, I mean, that would last me ages, you know, well over a week for sure. So the rupiah you can exchange on the way out. You can definitely exchange at money changes. We will advise you where's the best places to go, because obviously there are some that are not as good as others. There are ATMs everywhere, particularly close to the villas. There's one just a 5-minute drive around the corner. Every now and again I'll get the driver to take me down so I can get some money out if I haven't got it. But you can go at the money changes, you can exchange whatever currency you have for rupiah. So I think that's pretty much all you need to know. But as usual in most places in the world, you can use cards as well. So you can pay on credit or whatever. But yeah, I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything much more.
I think I'd just add this time, Terry, being the 15-day, it's a lot more condensed, as we've been saying, and there's probably not as much time that I would come with some rupiah, because sometimes we say you can go in that first day or two, but I think your schedule's going to be pretty full on. Well, I know it is for the first few days and the first week. So, I'd get some change to bring some rupiah with you. You don't need it in the resort. If you want to settle your bill by card, we don't have debit card, but we've got credit card. But if we go to like a local warong, they generally only take rupiah. And as Terry said, $100 Australian goes a long way over here, especially at the local warongs and things like that. But I would suggest you bring some. And in terms of the question about how much do you need to bring, I think I'd make an estimation for the whole 2 weeks, including any social activities that we would normally do, nothing out of the ordinary. Between 250 and 500 would cover just about everything: massages, food. If we decide to go canyon tubing or snorkeling, that's pretty much everything inclusive. If you spent more than 500, that'd be a lot. And then that's on the higher end as well. So that's just to give you an idea. The meals in the villas, lunches range from $5 US to $10, and dinners maybe $10 or $12. So if you eat just wholly within the villa, it might be, $10, $20 a day. Breakfast is obviously included, and that's a buffet in the mornings between 7:30 and 8:30. Yeah, so that's what I'd say on what you need to bring in terms of money and how much.
Yeah, I mean, if I give you an example of me, I stayed there 6 weeks just recently, and it was $1 million. No, what? It cost me about $500 for 6 weeks, and I live it up a little bit. So there's a good example of, it is very affordable to stay there. Okay,
just on laundry, because that sort of you've got a couple of options within the resort. We have like a laundry service that you can submit and fill in the form, and that'll be returned, I think, within 48 hours. And then you've got the local laundries, which are in walking distance, and they're a different price point. So the one in the villa is not overly expensive, but it is more expensive than the one down the road, and it's probably a bit more trustworthy. The one down the road's good. Most people don't have any challenges, but sometimes they come back with, like, I've had some clothes that are red, but they weren't when they went there. So I like to hand wash the things that I like, and the things that I'm not that attached to just go to the local laundry. But yeah, you've definitely got laundry in the resort or just down the road. There was one here about vaccination. This has come up before. I don't know of any that you need to come. I personally didn't with myself or my family when we come over, and we haven't had any challenges. I don't know if there's one for dengue fever, Terry. I think that's
not that I'm aware of. I don't think there is.
I mean, that's the thing they talk about the most over here, and I wouldn't say it's a massive issue. I've heard of a few people that have had it, but I would just check with your local GP. But there's nothing that I'm aware of that is it's not compulsory, that's for sure. but there are some other ones that you can get if you choose to do that.
What is it? Travel insurance. I have it. I definitely have travel insurance for my own benefit in regards to I'm obviously traveling quite a lot, so if luggage gets lost or something like that, but it is something that I'd always recommend, but it's entirely up to you whether you choose to get it or not. So you would organise that before you come away. However, I have come away before and forgotten to do it and done it once I'm there. So just gone online and bought travel insurance. It's up to you. It's really up to you. It's always something that should be encouraged. And yeah, that's it. So Kevin's saying that. That's the other thing too. If by any chance that you do need medical attention, that is when your travel insurance would be, and you'd agree with this, Simone, I guess, that's when your travel insurance would be the most used, so that you can go to if you need to go to the local hospital, the Western Hospital for any reason.
Yeah.
So you'd be covered. Your travel insurance would cover for that. These are things that we every now and again there will be someone that will have something happen to them, and I've only known it one time where someone's had to go to the hospital or to a doctor's to get something treated. It happens everywhere you go. Just from a medical point of view, there is amazing medical facilities over there, but that is when you would use your travel insurance just in case. So I'd suggest it if even for that, which which covers you. Yeah.
Yeah, and there are a couple of really good hospitals about 45 minutes to an hour's drive from Vision Villas. So just so you're aware of that. I personally haven't been there, but as Terry said, I think we've had one person that needed to attend, and one of the owners of the resort here, Roger's wife, has worked in one of the Western hospitals over there. She's a radiographer, so she's a great resource to have. They've lived here for 7 or 8 years, and she's my rock if anything happens. Obviously, when you've got a young child here, you want to make sure you've got all those things in place and at hand if you need them. And so from what I've heard, the 2 Western hospitals are great, just to give you peace of mind in that regard. What was the other thing that was coming up just then for a question? Oh, yeah, the one that came up there about do you share a room? Not unless you're bringing a partner. All the iLAB tickets are for your own king size room, and you get all the resort facilities as normal. There's a king bed in all the rooms. Most of them have an outdoor bathroom, Balinese bathroom, air conditioning, TV, cable TV, Wi-Fi around the resort, and daily service. If you do want to bring a partner, that is an option as well. And if they're non-participating, it's only an extra $500 for them to stay with you and share the room and breakfast included.
No cable needed.
No, you won't have much time for that. But with Wi-Fi,
I'm talking for the cable. I'll let you go.
Dirk's saying no cable needed, right? Oh, for Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
You meant cable TV. Yeah, cable TV is not needed, but I was saying you won't have much time for that. Yeah, no cable needed. It's all Wi-Fi. If you do have any important meetings that you wanted a more secure line, we do have a cable in the office here, and we can book. Like a gentleman that came to the last program was on a lot of boards, and he had maybe 3 or 4 scheduled meetings early in the morning, and he just used our office here just behind the meeting room, and you can plug in, hardwire in, so you're more secure on your network. But yeah, it's Wi-Fi all around. We've got about 10 or 12 access points. So you'll notice they've all got the same username and Wi-Fi password, and you'll get that on check-in. And as you move around the resort, you just need to be mindful if you're not getting a very good connection that you just need to log into that closer Wi-Fi access point, and you'll see that on your computer, which one's got the strongest signal. And in the rooms, mostly they are in the rooms, but sometimes it's better just outside your room because the buildings are made of stone and wooden big wooden doors, so sometimes the signal is weakened. But usually most people, if their door's open, they can get the signal. But definitely it's very strong in the meeting room and in the lobby and in the various bar lays around the resort, and out the front of the rooms is probably the best place for that.
Yeah.
Surge protectors.
I've never used a surge protector myself. I guess it's just a safeguard for yourself if you want it. I mean, my power board might actually have one as part of it, but I wouldn't even know. I don't have any problems, like as Simone was saying about the Wi-Fi and the availability. I'm a business coach and I coach clients via Skype when I have sessions with them, and I've never had a dropout. I've never had a problem with any connections or whatever. And it's not to say it obviously won't happen, because we need to be prepared that anything can happen like that. But yeah, it's and surge protectors, like I said, I don't actually use one personally. Do you use anything like that, Simone, or you and Shane?
I don't, but I believe Shane does, because he manages all the AV equipment and the camera gear at the back of the room. And yeah. I'm pretty sure he does have a surge protector on there. But yeah, I'm the same. I haven't. You do not a lot of things are earthed over here. I'm getting out of my technical comfort zone here, but most of my family's electricians, by the way. But they're not earthed, I think, is the thing. And so sometimes I do get a bit of a. If you don't have shoes on and you're on your computer, you can get a bit of a zap. So you need to wear shoes. That's one little hint for you. I haven't noticed that in the meeting room. It's just in a couple of the other places. But in terms of surges and also with blackouts, we do have a generator on site. So we have got a backup, and we don't have blackouts very often. I've experienced them probably 3 times since I've been here. So, and it's only usually for half an hour. And it's generally something to do that's happened within the whole island. The electricity's been interrupted for some reason. But we won't be out of power because we've got the backup there.
I've never experienced it, so there you go. First time for everything. That could be kind of fun. Okay, is there any more questions?
Yeah, there was one here on sports facilities. Is that Dirk? I think asking us about
the squash and the tennis.
Yeah. So as we covered, we will be encouraging morning exercise every day, and there's a bit of a schedule that we'll put together and a structure for that. And that varies. Like Terry said, there might be somebody that's joining us that's a yoga instructor, or they're a personal trainer, and so we like to combine, and everybody steps up who wants to in that area. And we also do walks or drives to the beach and have a walk along the beach, do some meditation down there as well. We've got an on-site gym, so that's probably, and we've got a trampoline. Well, Elkara does, but everybody's welcome to use it. It's a big one. But in terms of squash or tennis, we don't have anything that I know of that's very close. But if that was something you wanted to do on a weekend or something, you can certainly go to some of the resorts down around Nusa Dua or Kuta, and they've got them, and I know you can go in and hire them for the day or use them.
Patrick, yeah, if Patrick would know, he can let you know that. You'll get to see him there anyway, Dirk.
What is an inversion machine? Piece of gym equipment, obviously.
I don't know.
Is there
an inversion machine at the gym?
You're unmuted, Chris, if you want to share about that.
Good question, don't know. No. Well, there's only minimal equipment in the gym anyway, but I mean, some people use the gym, and we find that usually as a group that we do more outdoor activities anyway. And for the 2 weeks that you are there, I mean, there's running tracks. There's running tracks near will take you down to the beach. There's plenty of different things that we can do. And one of my specialties is Tibetan rites, which we will get an opportunity to experience as well, which is exercise in itself. But yeah. Oh, okay. Kevin says hook feet in and lie head down. I think
Patrick
I think I know what you mean. I don't think I know what you mean. I can sort of visualize that.
Yeah.
But
Patrick
we haven't
has
got
been
one.
telling me about another gym that's not far. Patrick lives about a 10-minute drive from Vision Villas, and he may be able to help you with that one, Tris, but we don't have that in our gym.
Yeah.
But it may be in the other one, the local gym that's not far from Vision Villas. Another question I wanted to cover was the question around extra accommodation. If you wanted to organise coming in a little bit earlier or staying longer, that is a possibility. All you need to do is contact Vision Villas directly on info@xlvisionvillas.com and just inquire if they have any availability for the dates you want to be here, and they will let you know. The rate is US 85 plus plus. Plus plus means plus sales and service charge, and that's 21%. So the service charge is 11% and the sales tax is 10%. So it works out $102 or $3 US, I think. And just be aware of that, because the plus plus is generally in most of the businesses around Bali. So if we go somewhere else to eat for dinner or even when we do some of the activities, that's usually added on. Sometimes it's included, but just so you understand what that is. What was the other thing? Oh, and I just wanted to mention now, just going back to the Wi-Fi, just so you're aware, most places around Bali have Wi-Fi, and it's usually free Wi-Fi. So if the username and password isn't displayed prominently when you go into the business, then just ask the waiter or whoever's there to help you what the username and password is. And if you're out and about, you can always connect in on your phone. Someone asked about a smartphone and not having one. I've got my iPhone here that I take out and about with me, so I'm always online. I don't really need to have credit, but you can get credit while you're over here, and it's very, very much a minimal cost that you have to buy prepaid, and we can organise a SIM card for you if you're interested in that. And I think like 100,000 rupiah, which is about $10, will last you with data and calls surely for 2 weeks, if not more. And they're just within a walking distance from Vision Villas. And we don't sell the SIM cards here, but we can update. It's called Pulsar, which is credit. We can update that here as well if anybody wanted to do that.
Yeah, probably another thing to consider too, and it's something that I've had to learn, is if you are going to bring your phones from wherever you come from, just make sure you switch off your data roaming so that you're not downloading from your country, because it'll be very costly. So I have a separate Bali phone myself that I use for all my Bali calls, and still keep my Australian phone, but I just turn off my data roaming so it doesn't download things, but I still receive texts and things like that if I need to. So they're just little things you might want to check with your carrier, just to make sure you don't incur additional costs while you're away. If for those of you that travel overseas, you'd probably know that anyway. So yeah.
The last question I had on my list, Terry, that came up before was the question was, what books, files or data info do they need to bring?
Yep. What books, files or data info? Okay. You'll be provided with a folder when you get there that will have all the information in that will be running through iLAB, and you will get things as we go through. All you need to do is, like I said, is bring your laptops or iPads or whatever you're going to use. In regards to mainly, a lot of it is usually just Googling, or, you know, for some of you that might want to put a presentation together, could be for that first one, like Simone said, it's not, you don't have to, but if you want to present your business that way, you need something for that. We've got all that equipment there. A lot of the time what happens, someone will bring a USB and Shane will play it through the system that he's got there. But you won't need anything else. I mean, I always suggest that you bring your own journal or your own notebooks in, you know, what you like to take your notes in, because some like to type them on their computers, and others like to actually write them on. Even though there will be paper available, I always suggest that you bring a good notebook that you can take notes with. But there's probably not much else, I don't think, Simone, that they would need.
No, I don't
Because
think so.
everything is there for you. You'll get to know we have a library there as well, which we'll go through when you get there. Yeah, so everything that you need, you basically will be able to search while you're there or have available to you when you get there. That's about it, I think. Is there any other questions before we let you all go off and plan the rest of your time before you head over to Exciting Valley on Sunday? No more questions?
Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. Excited to see you. I'm excited to see everyone. We'll finish off there then, and I'm really looking forward to meeting each and every one of you when you get there. Yeah, to find out all about where you're at and what we can do to support you on your journey. You're going to be amazed at what's going to come out the back end. Like I said, I've been a participant this year myself, and I'm walking, talking of what is available and what happens out there. So thanks everyone for turning up, and I'll see you all soon. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, everyone. See you soon. Thanks, Terry.
Yep, thank you.